What is, hey guys, we're gonna do a bad mom tag video today, so let's get started. Now if I look down, it's because I have the questions here so I can answer them. Alright, what is a silly or annoying thing my child does? Well, this one I will say a silly thing that Audrey does is she will tell her brothers, and she'll shake her head and she'll be like, with a little attitude. And an annoying thing that the twins do is bang their head. They love to bang their head when they're irritated. So that would be the answer for that. Question 2. What is your most embarrassing mom moment? My most embarrassing mom moment would probably be, I don't know, my most embarrassing mom moment. We'll come back to that one. Question 3. What is the most embarrassing thing you have done to your child? That would probably be maybe showing up to pick them up from school in pajamas, looking a hot mess. Other than that, maybe to him it'd probably be maybe him getting yelled at in front of his friends outside. That'd probably be his answer. My oldest, Justy's answer. Because the twins are 3 and then Audrey's 1, so it would have to be Justice. He is only 7, so I don't think I embarrass him too much yet. I will though. I'm gonna be that mom that comes to school and is like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Who are you hanging with? I got to know the business. Question 4. What do you want to do as a mom but cannot quite achieve? Well, something I would love to do as a mom is, 1, have more energy. I feel like I'm just drained so many days, and I would love to do more activities with them and just really be that mom that is an overachiever. Another thing I would love to do is homeschool. I would love to eventually homeschool the kids. Probably once we move, we're in a 3-bedroom now, so once we move to a bigger place where we can have maybe our own homeschooling area, or maybe transform some of the basement into a homeschooling area, that would work out better. But those are the 2 things that I would love to achieve but have not achieved yet, but I will achieve them. Question 5. What is the most overrated parenting expectation in your opinion? I feel like the most overrated expectation is that your child's going to be perfect and a cookie cutter, and the children that you sometimes see out and about or mostly see in, TV shows or movies, but reality hits and nobody's perfect. Nobody's kids are perfect. Now they're perfect to me, but my perfection in my kids is not the same as somebody else's perfection in their kids or what they see in my kid. So I would say probably thinking your child is perfect, or what we think perfect is. Question 6. What is your most hated parenting obligation? Probably changing poopy diapers. Nobody's got time for that. I don't think anybody wants to change a poopy diaper. Doesn't matter if it's a loaf, if it's diarrhea, if what it is, nobody wants to be changing anybody's poopy diaper, young or old. So that would probably be my most hated parenting obligation, because there's no way around it unless you hire a nanny. I mean, you have to change a diaper. It's gonna happen. So if you think you're gonna get away with it, you're not. You're never gonna not have to butt away. Question 7. What is your mom fantasy, with or without your kids involved? My mom fantasy is like I said, to be a mom that has so much energy that it's just going, and you know, getting my kids into this and that, and getting up at 5 a.m. and getting the housework done, and just having energy to spare, you know, everything just done and good and ready. But a more realistic one, or fantasy, would probably be just to have more me time, I guess. I think sometimes as moms we forget to, or even as parents, we forget to sometimes take care of ourselves, and that's really important, you know, to remember yourself and who you are, and to be able to have that time away from your kids, or away from your spouse, or just to clear your head and come back to reality sometimes. So that would be a fantasy, to have more me time once in a while. Question 8. Kids are watching the show downstairs, you can hear them. Yeah? This is me time right now, filming this video. Question 8. Are you a PTA diehard? No. No, 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 no. I honestly don't really have time for that. Like, I'm just not into it. I'm not really interested in being on any PTA or a part of anything. Maybe as the kids get older and the more of them are in school, I might be into that, but it's just not something that, I mean, all the energy I do have, none of it's going to be going to being on a PTA or any type of committee through the school. Let's just put it like that. That's just not me. It's fine for other moms, and somebody's got to do it. It's not going to be me. So when they call and ask for volunteers and to join these committees, they need to lose my number, because I ain't going to do it. Not going to happen. Yet. Maybe in the future, not now. Alright, question, keep slouching. Question, I can read the question, it keeps turning. Question 9. What is something that other moms do that drive you crazy? Oh, probably judging. And I would say this happens mostly in a lot of older moms that I know that have had kids and raised kids. My mother-in-law, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to, this is how you should raise your kid, you're doing something wrong, my kids didn't do this, you know, I did this as a mom, I didn't do that as a mom. You know, it's a lot of that. And this goes back to being perfect and cookie cutter. Is nobody's gonna parent the same, nobody's kids are the same. I have identical twin boys, and they're identical and they're not the same. They're not gonna grow the same, they're not gonna develop the same. It doesn't matter who you are, how many kids you have. You could have 150 kids, not 2 of those kids are going to be the same and grow up the same. So to tell somebody that, well, my kid didn't do that, or I did this differently, in a judgmental tone is I think it's very disrespectful as a mother to do that. And like I said, I've only really had that happen with older moms or older people in our life that have had kids that I guess don't really have that. They don't really have that judgment call whether or not to open their mouth and kind of jump in and say something that's rude or not. Like I said, for instance, my mother-in-law. So that would be something I hate about what other mothers do. I try not to do that. I try not to give, what's the word? I try not to give advice, and unless it's warranted, unless somebody asks me, you know, what I did or what I think they should do differently, or what I think if what they're doing is right. I mean, I still cannot judge what another mom does or another dad does. I can tell you what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. I can tell you what I've read, what I haven't read, what I've seen. But again, everybody's kid is different. Everybody's family dynamic is so different that you really just have to find what works for you and what's best for you without judging. And it's hard to do in this day, but I think that that's really what it comes down to, is stick in your own lane, stay there, and unless asked for, don't give other people your 2 cents, especially if it's going to be judgmental and disrespectful. So, question 10. What selfish thing do you do as a mom? I guess I'll put snacks up that I don't want the kids to get into, or I'll go to one of my favorite bakeries, and I love their sugar cookies, and I will hide them. Or yeah, that's probably the most selfish thing I do, is probably once in a while hide snacks, which, you know, I don't really need any more snacks. I'm working on this, but I'm a chip enthusiast, as I like to call myself, so I love me some chips and I love me some sweets once in a while, and it's okay to have your own, you know, your own indulgences and your own treats as a parent. You know, not everything has to be for a child, you know, so I think that's okay to be a little bit selfish sometimes. Question 11. What is your favorite? Some of these questions are written a little, they're not worded correctly, so I'm trying to read it correctly. What is your favorite moment as a mom that others would call bad? I would say my favorite moment as a mom that others would probably say is bad is probably when my kids, I guess when they act like kids and little boys and they kind of go crazy, and they have too much energy. Now sometimes in the moment I may think it's bad as well, and I may not react, you know, very happily about it, but I feel like, you know, when I look back on those moments, what, babe? But when I look back on those moments, it's, you know, it's a kid being a kid. It's a child, you know, and for somebody to look at that moment and be like, oh, look at that kid, they're playing monster. Someone look at that moment and say, you know, look at that child acting horribly, blah blah blah, look at that, it's such a bad moment. I just look at it and I embrace it as I'm allowing my child to be them, you know. So I guess that would be a bad moment. Question: do you ever paint an untrue picture? Yes, as in I don't film a lot of the tantrums and the meltdowns, and like when my son throws a fit and acts a fool, my oldest, I don't film a lot of that. Or sometimes when I film, I try to make sure my house is a little bit neat, or I'm a little bit presentable, I guess, so I would kind of paint an untrue picture. But I feel like, you know, that's not something people always want to see all the time. So, you know, if I'm going to film a video like this where I look halfway decent, I'm not, you know, makeup to the nine and in heels and make, you know, jewelry up and down and looking fabulous, but, you know, I'm a mom, so sometimes I just take, you know, I let it be what it is, and I say, take me as I am. And sometimes I just want things to be not untrue, but a little bit more presentable, I guess. Question 13. What do you wish that your kids would already do? I wish my twins, who are 3.5 years old, would be 100% potty trained. They're not 100% potty trained. We're working on it, but they're very stubborn. I wish my daughter, who is 14 months old, would sleep all night in her crib. That bird is loud. But I wish she would sleep all night in her crib. And I wish my oldest son, I don't know, I wish he would get past the kind of attitude stage that he's in right now. I wish that would just get out of it. Because, I mean, they always say terrible twos, but it's kind of like terrible 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and continuing. But, you know, I wouldn't change any of that for the world. What, babe? Alright, I'm going to come get it. what is the number 14? What is the best part about being a mom? The best part to me about being a mom is having, you know, having these 4 beautiful, amazing human beings that I get to just raise and that just love me, and I get to love unconditionally. And you know, it's scary as a parent because you have these children and these people that are looking up to you, and they put all their trust and all their faith in you because, you know, that's your job, is to protect them. So it's the best thing and it's the worst thing. You know, what you do is you really give pieces of your heart. You know, you give your heart to your children, and it's very scary, and you put yourself out there, and you're vulnerable, and you know, but it's so amazing because no matter what happens in life with your children, you know, the good always outweighs the bad, and it's just such an amazing experience, and it's so wonderful. And like I said, the good always outweighs the bad, and there are days when it's more bad than good, and there are days when there's more good than bad. Hold on, buddy, I'm coming. So those were the 14 questions. I can leave them down in the link at the bottom if you guys would like to do the bad mom tag or the bad parenting tag. You could have both you and your husband or your spouse do it. But those are my answers. I hope you like this video. I hope you guys subscribe and look forward to some more videos coming up. I know I'm behind on my Veda videos, and I have a couple that I just keep forgetting to upload, so look out for those. And I hope you guys had and are having a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. So I totally forgot to say my most embarrassing moment as a mom. I was racking my brain, and I was asking my husband, I was like, Sean, what's my most embarrassing moment as a mom? And I couldn't think of any as an actual like mom having a baby, because I just don't really care. Like, I'll be in the store, my kids will be throwing a fit, and I'm like, whatever, they're throwing a fit. It doesn't faze me, it doesn't bother me what people think, so it doesn't really embarrass me. But when I was pregnant with my first, Justice, and I had gotten the epidural, and they have to come in and turn you back and forth. Yep, buddy, I'm talking about you. Have to come in and flip you back and forth when you have the epidural. I was all swollen, and I couldn't feel anything from the waist down, so when the nurse came in and turned me, I released some loud noises. So my husband thought that was pretty hilarious. I was embarrassed, but I was also kind of drugged up, so I don't think I cared at the moment. But I think for him to bring it up, I guess, you know, maybe it was embarrassing for him, but that would be my most embarrassing moment. But I would like to thank Candid Mommy. I saw this post on her, this tag on her post, and I decided it would be really fun to jump on and do this. So, kids are being monsters. So yeah, that is my bad mom tag, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.